guys, welcome back. I've already got my gloves on. As you saw in the last video, we went ahead and sat this big beautiful turbo down on the turbo manifold to go ahead and get this build kicked off in the right direction, because we had a lot of downs and we needed a really big up to finish out the video. So going forward, in the start of this video, we're going to go ahead and get everything tied up with the passenger side turbo manifold, which actually houses the turbo itself. Go ahead and see if we can route the wastegate and the dump pipe and all that good stuff, and see how our exhaust is going to land. Now, in order for us to get all that done, this big AC box and heater box that you guys can't really see, but I'm going to give you a closer look, they need to get out of our way. We're probably not going to be putting AC back on this truck anyways, so I'm going to get rid of them, and it's going to help conserve weight and definitely conserve a lot of room for us. So let's get to shaving some weight and making some room, and here we go. As you guys saw, like I said, we set the turbo down. We're gonna go ahead and get it out of the way real quick so we can fully bolt on the turbo manifold. I just really wanted to get a good feel for the end of the video, so we'll get this out of the way. I just want to point, this is kind of gonna be the general route for the oil feed line. This is going to be coming from the driver's side, where I've got basically a plate that will go on the side of the engine, and that's where we're going to get our oil feed from, and then we're going to tap a hole in the oil pan for the oil drain line. So that's why this is just still hanging out here, but we're going to get it out of the way, free us up some space so that we have no issues with room. So, all right, now that we've got the passenger side turbo manifold torqued down, ready to go, we're going to start on the driver's side. I'm going to go ahead and get the old one removed and put the new one on so that we can get underneath the truck and check out how our crossover pipe is going to fit. That's going to be the beans of this whole portion, is to see if there's any cut and welding or any moving or making new pipe or whatever that we got to do. I think we're good for fitment. It just depends on how low it hangs down and where it lines up with the passenger side. So we're going to go ahead and get this one taken off and get the new one on. Oh, yeah. Oh, nice. Come on out there, boy. Just come on out. This side down. Just want to check our fitment. Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Come on, sweet pea. All you gotta do is just line right up. And that didn't. Get one other one in there. Help level it out. We're gonna be Gucci. Say it with me. Gucci. Gucci's been watching my videos. Gucci, man! You one of my 600 subs, bro? Probably should have put that little plate for the oil feed on before I put this on. But, you know, we really need to figure out where this crossover pipe sits. As you can see, this is where a crossover pipe bolts up to. It's just very loosely bolted currently. Mainly because, and let me show you what we're dealing with. I'm going to see if I can get a good view of this. So, currently, right here, where this exhaust, the crossover pipe goes into this turbo manifold, it doesn't line up perfectly. So I'm gonna have to pull this turbo manifold back off and the crossover pipe, and I'm gonna probably cut and weld some V-bands on here, so that, I mean, we're gonna have to do that anyways, but weld those V-bands on and put them at the correct angle so that when we bolt everything up, it just goes together super smooth. I don't know why the company did not go ahead and put V-bands on it. They almost have it cut to where they just want you to weld it together, but then getting the actual turbo manifold off with the crossover pipe, I mean, I just don't think that's the smartest move, but it is what it is. So currently that's where we're at on a standstill for that. Moving on to our next project, this is the plate that we're going to get our oil feed from. So I have a little plate that I'm going to open up, and it has these two ports here. The oil feed will come through on this side. Basically, I'm just going to block off one side and then run my oil feed from the other side, and that's where the turbo is going to get its oil from. It's a really, really good place to get an oil pressure gauge from on the other side. Boom, right up here, and we're going to be good to go. So we got this plate off of the side of the engine. So we're going to go ahead and get that installed now, and it looks just so amazing. Putting these on in a very weird position with an O2 sensor running down the side of my neck. Stop it. Like we said before, I am gonna go ahead and start removing this heater box and the AC box. I'm gonna get all this out of here. I have a plate from BMR that will cover this area. It will just look really, really nice and clean. I'm probably gonna have to go into the dash and get some of the bolts from the other side. But for now, we're gonna take off as much as we can from this side and go under there, take off what we can from that side, and hopefully chuck it in the street. I'm sure there's a bolt or two up underneath the heater box, but I'm gonna go ahead and go inside and start trying to take some of that loose. Let's see, wonder which one goes to this. It's not that one. Nope, that worked. There we go. Short jack strokes. Cut! Don't want to snap these off. They're all barely holding anything.
Here they come. I knew they were going to fall out eventually.
Big boy bolt. I did a little bit of modification. Oh, corn reservoir's hanging on too, by the way. You ready? We don't need it no more. Now, in theory, you know, because everything works well in theory, this entire box should want to come off. Okay, so just get those heater core lines out of the way, and the whole air box should come off. And then hopefully we're not going to have too many things else that we need to do. I'm going to plug up the heater core, probably just run a loop here off the water pump. And yeah, I mean, it's going to look a lot more clean. I'm not going to have heat. I don't really care. I don't care.
You see that? This goes right here. And then you go zip zip and it goes zip zip and it comes up. Ready? Zip zip and then it comes up.
This is so easy, bro. And I'm probably gonna pour some coolant out.
Handy dandy Dwayne man.
I don't want to spill too much. Okay, there's nothing. Oh, there was some. It's okay. It's okay. Sweet. Homeboy just had to take a leak, you know? Sometimes you just gotta take a leak. Playful. Hey, look there. Now, just sit that thing right there, boy. So if I want to get the heater core out the other side, that might be what we can do to get this, or I can just cut them off, but I don't really want to do that. So I'll get all this cleaned up, put our new plate over that, and man, this thing just gets, I don't know what this wire is for. The heater core is under here. There it is. I can feel the heat of, oh. I mean, I see it clear as day. That's what's holding it in. So you know what that means, Blake? You know? Oh, I know what it means. You still recording? You're gonna like this a lot. It means when you see a bolt, take it all the way out. I saw this bolt earlier. You know, sometimes when it's late and you've had a very trying day, you don't see all the bolts. Or you see them and you just up and decide, nah, I don't need to take that out. There's a bunch of trash on the seat.
Is it big, medium, or small?
It's it's a small one. I'm not upset. You are now removed, sir. I'll tell you guys, not only do I absolutely hate zip ties to hold major components on, and I can always reiterate that. If you're holding your bumper on with a zip tie, you should secure it way better. But for purposes like what we're about to do, which is zip tie all this other crap out of the way, zip tie mafia comes in handy amazingly. So I'm gonna get all this cleaned up. I'm gonna use my handy dandy zip ties and get all this other junk zip tied up nice and neat, so that when we put everything back, it all looks good and you don't have stuff just falling on the floor, and then the actual floorboard looks really good. I'm going to be removing this at some point too, but that's going to be in a later episode where we're going to be cleaning up like the rust that's here and the rust that's over there in that kick panel when we do the interior of this wonderful monster. I see you. Not for long though, because we're gonna have this really beautiful block off plate. And I'm gonna show you that in 3, 2, 1. Look at it. That's pretty. Just look at that. Like just throwing stuff in my bathroom bay. Love it. Love it. The plate that goes over this, I'm gonna seal it up so that we don't have any more issues. And hopefully it'll be kind of like a dynamat. It's not gonna allow a whole lot of sound in. You know what I mean? At some point when we do the interior though, we will dynamite everything anyways, so it's gonna be nice. Building on a budget. Yeah! It's like kind of rust. Look at that. That's so good. This seems to be just working really, really well. It's just the razor blade. I'm gonna wire brush it, paint it, and then we're gonna seal it back up. Last night when we were working on this, I was just kind of spraying it down to just kind of get some of the bare metal covered up, and I realized I really hated that paint, for one, and number two, we didn't cover very much of the surface. So off camera, I was like, let me just take this nice Rust-Oleum high heat flat black and just spray a little bit of the firewall, and honestly it turned out way better than I expected. So the plan going forward is going to be, because I do have a surprise, we are running the exhaust a little bit unorthodox, which is, it's actually more orthodox for a drag truck than anything, but I promise this is not a drag truck. But anyways, so we are going to now at this point, because it looks so much better like this, we may chop down a little bit of this, maybe like sand some of this down and make it a little bit more flush, but we're going to go ahead and tape off everything, and Blake's going to be doing that while I work on the fuel pump. But we're going to tape off all of the engine bay and go ahead and spray the rest of the firewall with this black, because it just is going to make our build look so much more clean. Thumbs up. Is it gonna be right?
I'm just glad I taped off that other fender, inner fender right there.
Yeah.
That way there's no overspray back there on parts that it shouldn't be.
It's gonna look better than it did. I'm gonna say that's tan anymore, or definitely not brown, because it's never been brown. For now, doesn't look half bad.
I guess we peel some tape off.
Yeah, it's gonna be what we do. Yeah. Hoping for only the best here. It's black. I'm not upset so far. For a 5-minute paint job. Boy, we're looking right. This actually does not look bad at all. I mean, I don't know if the camera's doing it justice. I mean, there's definitely some imperfections, but the line, the tape line, pretty daggum solid. Pretty daggum solid. I mean, oh, that's not bad at all. When I get down into a couple of these places back here,
that I'm getting with the camera. I'll get down there and just kind of clean those up with some paint, but honestly, this looks so much better. And the contrast is gonna look really, really good. I'm gonna have the block off plates over here, exhaust going out that way. Shh, don't tell nobody.
I got my intercooler out of the way because we like the firewall so much that we're gonna go ahead and just basically paint the radiator support because it looks dingy. But once we get it flat black, it's gonna look a lot better. My painting fingers getting tired. My forearms are wearing out. All right. Yeah, this the nozzle has gotten a little upset, so it is just collecting paint on the end and flinging it everywhere. So, I mean, once that dries, it's going to be nice and all one color, and it's going to look a lot better. I have here a final checklist. So that's our checklist. Basically, we are done with the firewall. So we can go ahead and exit that off and check it off. If you saw that, I basically have 3 categories. The red X means we haven't started on it yet. The yellow caution means that we started on it, we just haven't finished it. And green means go. So gonna go ahead and mark off, check off the firewall. We're gonna go ahead and do the map sensor so we can check that off. We'll go ahead and do the injectors as well, check those off. Technically we are done with the fuel pump, but we've got to get the fuel tank back up in its place. So we'll check that off. But in this video, we should have those 4 more things to check off. Now that we have our firewall, you know, looking better, we're gonna have those block off plates. It's gonna go here to here. And in doing so, I kind of am leaving the inner fender out so that I can get to the bolts that are going to be putting right here. And then once the inner fender's back in, the block off plate is there, and we have our harness tied up in its spot, that's when we're going to figure out how exactly we run our exhaust. Now, our turbo is going to be sitting right here. I had the plan, the idea that we were going to run the exhaust all the way down into this hole. But it's not going to work out that way for room because we already have our dump pipe that's going to go down that way. And then the crossover pipe from the other side is also going to go down that way. So in doing so, and you guys are really, really going to enjoy it when I do actually do it, but we're going to run the exhaust out the fender. No, this is not a drag truck, but it's going to still look really, really cool. And I have a design in mind for the video following the boost build, the finished video of the boost build. The following video after that, I have a really, really great design that we're gonna do for this truck. So, bear with me because the Brown Nugget's getting a full-blown makeover, and that's gonna come after we finish up the boost build. But in order for us to do that, we need to have our exhaust ran so that I can know exactly where the eye is. So, these are injectors out of an L96, so it was a 6.0 if I'm not mistaken. They are about 52 pound injectors, whereas what I have in this 5.3 are stock 24 pounds. So this is not going to give us like an insane amount of boost, but we will be able to run a decent amount of boost with it. So this is exciting because all we're doing here is boosting this truck. All those things like adding budget injectors in now will just, you know, if we wind up blowing the engine or if we want to go a lot stronger and make it a lot faster later, we can do that. So for now, we're going to stick to these because I got them on a really good deal. I bought the entire and all these injectors for like I think 150 bucks. No, these were 100 bucks and the fuel pump was 200 bucks. So pretty good deal. So yeah, we're gonna get these in here now and yeah, get ready for a boost, baby. Come on now, come out now. Just be a man. Look at the difference in the size. Little 24 pounds compared to the little, or bigger, 52 pounds. Obviously, like I said, 24 pounds. 52 pounds, not a crazy big size injector, but it's more than what we had, so. Alrighty, we're in there like the swimwear. Here,
Let me hold the camera. I'll step back and you look. Let's see it. I don't know if it's gonna fit, bro. You go see if you can make it work.
It don't look right.
Yeah, I see the problem. You gotta flip it over. There we go. That looks a lot better. Yep, that's gonna fit just like that. See? All it takes is just a quick step back and figure out where we're going. Okay, temporarily we have this plate just kind of mounted with these 3 bolts just to kind of get a good fitment for how it's going to look. Everything looks like it's going to work really well. Probably try and get new bolts or clean up these old bolts and then get a bolt, nut, and washer for the remaining 3. On to really quickly, I was doing my fuel injectors and the old style injector connector. These are EV1 injector connectors. Our new ones from the L96. Okay, Turbo, how about just go for a spin. I'm going to go for a spin real quick, you know? I guess I took another bolt out of it. Anyways, these injectors that I have, the new ones, they're EV6 connectors. So I've ordered new injector connectors. They should be here this afternoon, so you guys will get to see that as probably the last part of this video. If not, it'll be on the first part of the next video. But I'm going to go ahead and swap out the other injectors. Go ahead and swap out the map sensor so that we can knock off some stuff on our list. Obviously the full turbo install will not be finished in this video, but in the next video we are going to hopefully hear it run. Yeah, because we're going to be installing our exhaust. That's going to come out this way. The crossover pipe and wastegate dump will go out down there towards in between the frame and the engine. And then everything else will be finished up in that video. So it was very, very exciting. This entire video, ups and downs. The ups and downs of the brown nugget. That might just be the title.
One massive piece of this puzzle is fuel. So when we are boosting this sucker, we need to get more fuel. And that starts with a Walbro 450 fuel pump. Now I have one, and I do happen to know that there's a 255 on this truck, but a 255 is not going to give us the fuel we need like a 450 will. So we are pushing our limits and going with a 450 so that we have adequate fuel pressure at the rail. So fuel tank is going to come down, and unless I'm able to slide out from under it or get it on the ground in some way, shape, or form, if I can't, I'm going to have to sleep here. Herein lies the dilemma. I need to shimmy out from under it. We're good. Now how easy was that? I'm free.
Das what we need right there.
Oh boy. I'm gonna try my best to save as much fuel as possible. But yeah, I'm gonna try to drop them back down in there. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do right there. That's good, right? Alright, so that went just about as smooth as a gravel road.
Howdy. We're back with another issue. So I have this Walbro 450 fuel pump, and I have this nice Quantum set up. I'm 99% sure that this all came as one fuel pump instead of just the actual pump itself. Come with sending unit and everything else that goes along with it. So herein lies another issue that we've run into on this build that we're supposed to be finishing up tonight. And as you can see, the gas tank's still on the ground. The turbo manifolds are not done. There's a lot. The AC delete panel wasn't the right one.
So what we're planning on doing at this point, I'm gonna scour the internet because like I said, we're building on a budget, and I can, budget friendly, I can just basically put a connector on the end of those wires and make it work for this connector and just put it all together. All right, so obviously we have run into several snags finishing up this build, but one thing that we did go ahead and get a win from is the fuel pump. So did wire in this Walbro 450 fuel pump, had to run different style connector inside. I did use butt connectors, but these have the heat shrink on the outside, so it does close off all moisture to the wires, and it just looks really, really ultra clean. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this fuel pump back in the tank and get everything buttoned up and fuel tank back up top, and we are one step closer to finishing up this build. So I'm very, very excited. Hopefully you guys are too. All right, so got our new Walbro 450 fuel pump installed. Gonna drop the hanger down in here, get everything kind of tidied up. The connectors worked out really, really, really nice. This was like an emergency splice connector kit that I had. So it worked out really, really nice. Gonna drop this down in here now and get our fuel tank ready to get mounted back up top. So this has been not the the easiest install of sorts as far as just a plug and play, but for the most part, everything has went together fairly simply. So we will get this thing mounted up top and good to go. I think slide.
Are you trying to pick it up?
I'm trying to move it. Now, I really wish this exhaust was out of my daggum way.
I did it! All right. I mean, this sucker tight. I'm not gonna lie to you.
See what color spring is in here. It's like a thickened dime bomb.
Boom! This is something we did not want to skimp out on, so we went with an AC Delta.
GM product.
I hope it'll work. I don't know that that's gonna work.
If it's something else, it just makes perfect sense. This is supposed to be the easiest part of the job. Ah, perfect. Well done! Job well done! Job done. I need this. Oh, yeah. It's not running yet, is it? Let's explain a couple things. We do have a lot of wins, and we're gonna check those off the list here in just a few minutes. Let's go look at our wastegate real quick. So this is an On3 Performance top of a wastegate. I don't blame the person that sold me the kit because he bought it secondhand used as well. But as I was staring all this down, because you know we sent the ECU off to get flash with a good buddy of mine who does a really good job of tuning, he needed to know a couple different things like the fuel pump, the injector size, and the wastegate spring, because that's what controls our boost. Well, I'm like, you know what, no problem, I'll just take the wastegate apart and, you know, tell what color spring it is, and then I can go on On3's website and I can be like, yeah, it's the such and such color spring. Well, there's our answer. It's black. On3, as far as I know, does not have a black spring. They have yellow, green, and red. I did not see a black one. So that raised some concerns. But then as I started looking at it, I don't know if you'll be able to tell on camera, but there's a discoloration between the bottom half. It's like a purpley black to this top portion. And then there's no markings on the wastegate whatsoever. Nothing saying that it's an On3 Performance one, nothing like that. I started looking up designs of all the On3 Performance ones, and none of them had this design. Here's my theory, working theory, but maybe still true. I believe this is the top of an On3 Performance wastegate that still has its lovely serial number, and I think that's it. I think the rest is probably some Chinese knockoff or something like that that just does not work. Or it may work, but I'm not trusting it because I don't even know what pound spring's inside of it. You know, I used the old pressure test, and I have no idea what that means, so it didn't tell me any information. So, I am gonna splurge a little bit on this truck. I have a tile wastegate that I spent a lot of money on for my RB26 build, but it's a 44mm wastegate, and it's gonna work on the flames that we've got for this turbo manifold. So it's gonna look pretty, and it's gonna have the exact spring that we wanna go with and all the above. So I'm very excited about that. So that kind of put us on a halt on that portion to finish out today's video. But let's talk about the ups. Went ahead and installed, which you guys did get to see, the map sensor. Went ahead and installed all the injectors. I did kind of come to a halt with the injector connectors because they don't fit exactly, but those will be showing up today. So as you can see, we got fuel pump done, injectors, we can change those now. So injectors done, oil feed done, oil return, we're gonna be setting that up in the next video. Wastegate dump, that is just basically verifying where I'm gonna go with it. We can change that to green now because we know where we're going with it now. Map sensor is now good. ECU flash, it is currently getting flash. He said it'll be done by the end of the day, so that's really, really good. So you know what, we're just gonna check that off because by the time, you know, you guys probably see this video, it's done already. So that's a lot of green, baby. That means that things are actually working in the right direction. Fan relay, I still have not hooked up, but I've got some surprises for that. Intercooler piping, it just showed up. And then the AC delete, we can go ahead and knock that off as well. So lots more green happening today. I mean, that when you can see mostly green, that's a good thing. So I'm gonna tie up the transcooler in the next video, go ahead and install a catch can and a coolant reservoir, do the fan relay and the oil return, and then the rest is pretty much good to go. I mean, our manifolds are something that we're going to tie up in this next video as well, intercooler piping as well. So let me explain really quickly, if I haven't already in this video, where our exhaust is going to go. So now that we've got it all kind of figured out with what we're doing, the wastegate dump's going to go down that way. With the crossover pipe, our exhaust is going to make an immediate left turn and come and go straight out this fender. Now we've got our block off plate, we kind of know how much and what room we have to mount our wiring harness in the correct place so that it doesn't interfere with the exhaust. But with all that being said, I'm very, very excited because that means this job's almost done. All the hard parts are basically done. The only thing that's really, really gonna suck is welding out the V-band flanges on that stainless turbo manifold. But other than that, man, we're rolling pretty daggum good. So I'm gonna read our verse of scripture and I'm gonna go to that right now. Teleportation. So the verse of scripture that I'm going to read today comes from James chapter 1. It's verses 2 through 4. It says, "My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience, but let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing." So obviously during this build, we got very frustrated and had to be very, very patient. Actually had to show our patience very well because there were a lot of wrongs, things that just, you know, it's just as simple as the map sensor. Changing that grommet out was literally nothing, but it's just one of those things. It's like, yeah, you couldn't just like plug and play. No. In this verse of scripture though, it's talking about, you know, having patience when there is trials, and I think that we can just, you know, apply that to our lives. So often we look at our trials as a down when it's so important for us to look at it and go, well, look where we came from, or look what we have to look forward to. And understanding that we learn so much through those trials is it's a marvelous thing. I mean, it's really crazy how much God can use you when you're in the down parts of your life, when you're in the valley, you know, because once you make it back up out of there, you have a wonderful testimony. So it's very, very exciting. Yeah, we had a lot of downs on the truck, but you know, when this thing's cranked up and running gravy smooth next time in the next video, it's all going to be worth it. So thank you guys so much. I think at the point of this recording, we are, I don't know, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we're doing pretty well at this point. So thank you guys so much for everything. Leave a like, hit that bell for notifications for every single time the video does post. And going forward, if you guys have any questions or whatever, leave them in the comments so that we can reply. I reply to every comment currently. I don't know how long I'll keep being able to do that, but as for the foreseeable future, we're going to do that as long as we can. So we really appreciate all the love and support, and we will catch you guys on the next one.